So, hi everyone, welcome to the Reiki Reiju October. We are kind of going to talk around at this topic of taking responsibility for people that are not actually our responsibility. So, I'll give you an example. So, it's this idea that we put a lot of energetic bandwidth into um, worrying or thinking it's our problem to fix somebody else's mentality, mindset, activity, path in life. So it could be as simple as your children. So you think not when they're young, like when they're really young and they're living under your roof and they're essentially children, then obviously you do have responsibility towards them and duty towards them, and you do guide them. And so that I'm not referring to that, but I'm talking about adult children that you may or may not be judging around their life choices, their job choices, their partner choices, even things like their mental health, their physical health, whereby the feeling is that you need to be more involved or you need to be thinking about them in order to help them solve their problem. And then at the other extreme, it could be your parents. So it could be trying to fix their behavior, like parents are of different generations, so often they might have views that are not so politically correct these days, and that could span racism, it could span sexism, it could span political views, like whatever. And again, there's this tendency for us to get irritated or feel it's not right or basically judgmental, right? Like you shouldn't be thinking like that, and you need to change the way you're behaving and stuff like this. Now, again, I make the difference if it's actually impacting you. So if you have a parent who's abusing you, I'm not talking about that, but I'm talking about, let's say they make some kind of racist comment and you're like, oh my God, and then you're trying to fix it. So then there's that energy that goes out, but it hasn't directly impacted you. And so this is the line that I think is really important to walk. If something is directly impacting you, like you're suffering from some form of abuse or there's a direct impact onto your mental health, then clearly I'm not referring to that. But oftentimes we tend to take on responsibilities or this feeling of necessity to help someone change behavior, or a necessity that we think they should be wanting to change certain behavior when it really has nothing to do with us. And getting clear on that can release a huge amount of energy, especially if your tendency is to do it to many different people. So you're judging your parents and you're worried about your siblings and you're worried about your kids and your friends. You end up, so then what happens is you end up taking on this sense of responsibility for 10, 20 people. And it is very draining because if you think about it as almost like this energy cord where you're hooked into that person and you're trying to affect change. Now, when you try and affect change with someone, you'll know you're doing that when you're ruminating or thinking about them when they're not even there. They're not even asking for your advice, right? They're not sitting there and they're not, you don't have to be supporting them in that moment, but you're at home or you're in bed or you're in the car and you're ruminating and worrying about this person, you're thinking about this person. That is energy that you are leaking out to this person. And frankly, if they're not there in front of you or on the phone, directly asking for your advice or help or support, you've moved out of your own circle of influence and control and you've stepped into somebody else's business and it's none of your business. So if you start pulling back this energy that you have willingly given out, then it really starts to make a very big difference in your energy field because you start to reclaim a lot of kind of like these energy tubes. They really can sometimes look like that, like tubes of energy going out into other people. Um, And also, it allows you to support them a lot better when they actually do ask for support, because you're not sitting there in your many, many hours of judgment and thinking and overthinking, and they should be doing this and they should be doing that, they should be like this and they should be like that. So your clarity of support is much cleaner as well. So I thought what we would do is a very specific meditation, and you can just choose one person in your life. And honestly, if you kind of feel I have nobody in my life like that because I've cleaned up all my relationships, amazing. But I think it's also one of these things whereby if you can't think of a person, though ideally it's around a person because this will be a person specific meditation, you can think of maybe a cause. Maybe it's like you get upset about politics, or maybe you can bring a politician to mind, or you can bring a certain celebrity to mind, or somebody that you kind of feel very judgmental towards and you spend time ruminating around. But ideally, if you can keep it family, friends, somebody close to you that you struggle to let go of that feeling of responsibility that you need to somehow help to change their life direction. I think this is more powerful and how we're going to go, because I just want to show you how the Reiki can really help you to mellow that a little bit and to release that tension or the amount of energy you're giving to this person. And when I say you're giving to this person, they might not feel it. That's the thing. You might be completely wasting your energy with this, and that's kind of important as well, because essentially you're not really doing them much good. So you're kind of wasting energy in a sense. You're pouring it out, but you're not necessarily getting any results from it. So as always, we come into reiju, hands into prayer pose in front of the heart center. And then we're just going to start calling in the Reiki energy. And then just very gently, we're going to drop into a kind of specific meditation. And then, yeah, we'll see how you feel about that. So getting comfortable, feet on the floor, bring hands into Garsho, front of the heart center, closing your eyes and just taking a couple of breaths. And we're just going to start off settling the body. You're just starting to notice the feet on the ground. Noticing the exhale. Every exhale, you're just allowing the body to relax. And then bringing your attention up to the top of the head. Imagining 1,000-petaled lotus. Very gently opening. And you're calling in the Reiki energy. You can sometimes imagine it as a beautiful white light coming in down through the crown, the top of the head, infusing and lighting up your entire body, down into the heart center. And as you inhale, you're just brightening that beautiful flow of energy. And as you exhale, you're allowing that energy to run all the way down the arms, into the hands and fingers. So just doing this for a couple of breaths. You might notice the hands activate or feel a bit hotter or tingly. And then you're going to bring your hands down anywhere on the body. So you could just have them palm down on the thighs or around the tummy and chest area, just whatever's comfortable. And we take a few moments just to notice the sensations of the hands and also the contact point of your body. Just noticing any sensations present there. Feeling the flow of Reiki into your body as it supports you in this meditation. And sometimes it's fun to also acknowledge the people in the group or the people listening today. participating and those who will be joining later as well, because it does build the energy now in the future. It's almost as if you can feel those people right in present moment as well. And then doing a quick body scan, just making sure the body is nice and relaxed. So relaxing around the forehead and eyes, the eyelids are relaxed, the cheeks, the jaw. And using the exhale, relaxing down through the shoulders and arms. Watching the breath, encouraging the breath down into the belly if it's not there already, softening the chest, the back, the belly, all the way down into the hips, noticing the pressure of the buttocks on the chair, all the way down the legs, softening the knees, calves, ankles, feet, toes. Noticing the pressure of the floor. And imagining the energy centers of the feet expanding and channeling down through the floor into the ground. You could imagine roots or kind of anchoring movement of the energy so that your feet feel really solid on the ground. And then just imagining a white light to start with. So in your mind's eye, you're just surrounded by white light. And then just imagining one person. There's lots of people in your life that you feel entangled with. You can do this one by one, but just for the process of this meditation, you're just going to bring one person to mind that you feel that you probably think about or worry about more than necessary. And just bring them to mind. Just have them standing in front of you. And taking a couple of breaths, just settling in. Imagine them looking at you, you're looking at them. And I'm sure if you're worrying about this person, there's a deep sense of love. And you can just connect in with the love that you feel for this person. Just noticing as they look at you that there is a sense of love from them to you. And just see if you can feel in or sense the equality of this person as a fellow human being. With their own life journey, their own strengths and weaknesses, their own life experiences. And just looking at them as a complete and whole human being, perfect in their own way, no matter what their life circumstances at the moment, just looking at them into their eyes, into their soul. And seeing if you can feel that inner capacity, competency, resilience that actually we all have, our human spirit. And as you look at them, just really calling out that inner human spirit, strength, courage. And just noticing that, feeling confident in that. They have everything they need to make their own decisions, their own choices, their own life path. And just noticing your own tendency, if there is any, to judge them for any of their life choices. And just noticing that that's your judgment. Just seeing also if you can feel into the knowledge that your judgment may or may not be right. And seeing if you can really feel into that. Accepting that your opinions might not be the truth. Just seeing if you can keep looking upon this person with love, compassion, and just seeing if you can bring back some of your own energy, just calling it back, any energy that you feel that you're pouring out in this person's direction, just bringing it back in. You can always extend it out again later if that feels necessary, but right now, just calling it back in. So that you feel more complete and contained. Noticing that the person in front of you is also complete and contained. And very gently just allowing that Reiki that you have coming into your body to infuse every cell, all around your aura. And just noticing if there's a tendency to push the energy out into the person as well. And just seeing if you can refrain from doing that. Just filling yourself up as a priority without needing the other person to be okay. Focusing on yourself, allowing yourself to be okay. And you can always check in on the other person and just see how they're doing. Are they okay? And seeing if you can smile upon them kindly with compassion and trust. Trust in their own life journey, their own capacity to make choices and decisions, their own life force energy, their own inner wisdom. And you can feel all of this compassion and trust and respect for this other person without giving away your energy or feeling like you need to fix them or guide them. And then with great love and respect, you just allow that person to very gently dissolve into the white light, giving them thanks. And just checking in with your own energy. Breathing into every cell, inviting the Reiki energy to infuse your entire energy system. Using the breath, pulling in the Reiki. You can play around with different ways of doing this, in through the crown or even in through the aura, every single particle of your body as you inhale, pulling in the energy from the air around you. Harmonizing yourself with the innate harmony of the air, the environment. And with every exhale, remaining relaxed and open. And then very gently just starting to wiggle your fingers and toes, giving yourself a little stretch, perhaps raising your arms above your head, giving yourself a little wiggle all the way down the spine. And whenever you're ready, opening your eyes.